of weird thing, right? That it wasn't like, clearly you didn't find it because there was a sign out. And you didn't find it because there was an advertisement. And you didn't find it because someone with $1 million or $5 million or $10 million got the message to you and guilted you to get your booty in here. That's not how you found it. I know that. The one church that really doesn't have a marketing department. It's consciousness. It's love, and it resonates, and when we feel it, we know it. Just like people with opposing views, opposing votes, opposing everything can feel love when they know it. The illusion and the delusion is that we can step into separation, that we can keep peeling ourselves apart and not feel our wholeness. But just like healing things in our own being, in our own lives, in our own body, it comes from including. It comes from expanding. It comes from growing our minds and growing our consciousness. We're making way for the new together. We practice together. We power up and we open ourselves to greater and deeper avenues of listening. Think about your family. Think about your importance. Think about how you show up. So many people are feeling disempowered these days, whether it's in your own individual life or whether it's in the collective. But I want you to think about for a moment a friend group, or think about a family group. Think about when one person doesn't show up. Is it different? The whole dynamic changes, doesn't it? What about if the funny person doesn't show up? What about the sweet person doesn't show up? God forbid, what if about the food cooker doesn't show up? The whole thing changes, doesn't it? Instantly, immediately. Show up. You're needed. It matters. Don't worry about how Spirit and Source is going to use your showing up, right? That's none of our business. And then don't discount it by saying it's not enough. How many of us said this week, I don't know what I can do. There's nothing I can do. There's not enough I can do, whether it's for something in your own life or something in the collective. What can I do? Let us not discount ourselves from thinking if we are tethered to the source, if we know we are immersing ourselves, we know we are as fully as humanly and spiritually possible, saying, sweet Spirit of truth, sweet Spirit of God, sweet Spirit of allness, the master teacher, the one that came through the saints and sages throughout time, that came to Jesus the Christ, that birthed in the vision of the Buddha. That one, here I am. The one that I see in the eyes of a baby, the one that I see in the eyes of love, the one that I see in the galaxies and in the sun. I affirm I am one with that. Move in me, through me, as me. That we can trust is enough. We may be told on a physical level, on a human level, it's not enough. And it's not that it's enough as in there are not going to be any actions moving forward, right? When we get a healing, Myrtle Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, got a healing. She got an understanding when she had dis-ease. She got an understanding that she was healed. She was healed, she was whole. And what she got was not just stopping there. Yes, that was the fullness of it. But she also got, I need to take a radical inventory of my mind. I need to no longer agree with, shake hands with delusions about my body and who my body belongs to or what my body is capable of. Not science, not doctors, not anything, but spiritual law. What she got was spiritual law, that there is a spiritual law about wholeness, and that will express through me, end of story, full stop. So spiritual law cannot be argued with. It can only be operated, and we can either operate it consciously or we can interact with it unconsciously. David Owen Ritz in this week's Keys to the Kingdom, he talks about the idea of this spiritual law as being, above human law. But we have these human laws and we validate them and we see that they're real and they're true. The law of gravity. If you don't know about the law of gravity, does it still work? Absolutely. If you know about it and you learn about it at depths, can you use it to your advantage? Can you use it to the betterment of all society? So he talked about the laws of, like aviation, like flying, that people saw that a bird can fly, right? Animals can fly. Well, can animals fly? I don't know. We've got to think about that. But flight happens, right? Maybe that's the title of this talk. Flight happens. And it's like, oh, well, that is what it is, and I can't do that. People can't fly, right? This is a concept. People can't fly. Oh, well, if you understand the principle and you look at the law and you learn it, yes, people can fly. It's not magic. It's not even a miracle, except that it is, because a miracle is an outwardly working of the law. So too are there spiritual principles that when we understand them more deeply, we can use them more mindfully. They are being used, these spiritual principles. They are being used. Are we going to wake up to our power in how to use them consciously? I believe that we're in a time period of Shiva energy. If anyone knows about Hinduism, Shiva is the god of destruction and transformation. Shiva is one of the three gods in Hinduism, along with Brahma and Vishnu. And Shiva's role is to destroy the world. Does that sound delicious? In order to recreate it. In order to recreate it. Uncomfortable? Yes. Is it what is? Yes. Did you choose it? Did I choose it? Maybe yes, maybe no. But is it here? Yes. It is what is right now in this moment. If we resist that's what's happening right in front of us and within us in our own healing journey, right? Like if I resist the fact that I have that energy moving in and through my own life, whether it's a healing thing, a financial thing, whatever. In Unity, we generally talk about our personal awakening. We're being pushed to our edge of our comfort zone, and we're talking now about the collective awakening. The time is over to have a personal sense of self that one is protecting. The time is now to have a collective sense of self that one is ideating for, visioning for, and generating. That is the time we're living in, spiritually. Jesus, the master teacher, taught it. Said, wake up, wake up, wake up. The Buddha taught it, wake up, wake up, wake up. Saints and sages throughout time have taught it, wake up, wake up, wake up. We are no longer the part of the congregation. We are it. And for anyone that's like, oh gosh, no, please, I need me. Fear not, little flock, for your Father has given you the kingdom. Even the hairs on your head are counted. Fear not. Little one that believes in separation and the concept of I need but me. Send her to the universal. Send her to the truth. We step into the whole. A mother has no need beyond the need for the child. You know what I mean, right? The mother's need, it incorporates the child. If the child is looking at the Most High if the mother is looking for the Most High for the child, it includes the Most High for everyone involved, right? Like what mother, father, whatever, put in whatever you want. But what one would ever pray for their highest best over the prayer? If you could take one prayer, that prayer is for your child's highest best. And absolutely intricately woven in that prayer is automatically your highest best. Because there is oneness. So too is it with our source. So fear not, little flock. It is the Father's great pleasure. It is the mother's great pleasure. It is the source's great pleasure to give. And it's already given. The sun shines on everyone. If we stare at what is in our own lives or in the collective, and we stare too long, you know that biblical story of turning around and looking back and turning into a pillar of salt. If we stare too long, then we begin engaging in resistance with what is. And engaging in resistance with what is only multiplies it. So what do we do in times of that unfoldment? We take both hands and we put them into Godness. We take the full energy and we lift it up and dedicate it. We lean in. We don't wrestle with something in front of us. We start the visioning. We start the moving forward. So, who's our guy? Singer, Michael Singer. He says, like, it took billions of years for the universe to get to this point in the evolution of consciousness, right here, this point that's in front of us. It took billions of years to get here. Now, I can either argue with it, or I can say, oh, I see that it's here. And I can apply my spiritual truth, my biblical, metaphysical truth, my ancient wisdom and cultural truths, that even what anyone, and you can fill in the blank, what anyone meant for evil, God means for good. Because I stand in that, and I stand with my source, and I make it good. I step into what is without wrestling with it, without resisting it. I step into it, and I create from here. It's a scary principle, but Singer teaches it, Unity teaches it. It's like, act as if you chose the moment. Now, no one, when they get into a car accident, wants to act as if they chose the moment. But it's like, what happens? If I don't act as if I chose the moment, then my mind is in why, what, help me, this, that. And where is my mind not? My mind is not in where is my healing? Okay, what's my practice now? Let me nourish my body. Let me nourish my mind. Let me nourish my soul. Let me take care of these bones. Let me take care of this being. Because I'm sitting here going, why this car accident? Why this thing? Rather than what do I do with this? Because what anything means for suffering or feels like suffering or all of that, I am an active participant in the principle that whatever means for separation, division, you fill in the blank, God means for good. And I will be the good in that, standing forth, making it happen. From Genesis 50:20, what you, the other, against, fear, separation, suffering, darkness, meant for evil, God meant for good. It is said by Joseph to his brothers, as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. So are we willing to follow some spiritual wisdom? One thing I want to say today is to recognize Deepak Chopra, one of our kind of leading spiritual teachers in wellness today. He talks about that we are the nervous system of the collective, of the universe. Like, we are the nervous system of it. Like, so can we expand what that nervous system can handle? It's time to expand what that nervous system can handle and not let it bring us down, but let us go, this is the practice, and I will apply my principles. So I can be in the human condition, I can be present, I can be aware, I can be ready for alignment and action, but I cannot allow myself to get consumed by that. And from the wisdom of Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith, he said this quite a while ago, but it stuck with me. He said, we are not here to save the world. Take a breath. We are not here to save the world. We are here to serve an emerging paradigm. We are not here to save the world. We are here to serve an emerging paradigm. That emerging paradigm is the one within our hearts. It's the one where we know basic principles, that God is love, that all beings are created in this love, that the sun shines freely on everyone, that we're here to co-create a world that works for all. There could be really, honestly, if you're talking about sin, there could be no greater sin than taking away what God has given to humanity and to earth and to world. It is freely given. If from the moment it's freely given, it goes through me and it is not multiplied, overflowing, greater, more beautiful, more magnificent, then I'm not doing my job with what the flow is doing through me. So if I don't take my suffering and create a song, if I don't take a destruction and create a new paradigm, I would say that's missing the mark. What we are here to be is to take what moves through us, the energy, the life, the wisdom, the flow, everything, all of it. And as it touches through me, it should create more. Amen? I want to close with this. This is from Deepak Chopra. He says this. Oh, it's way too long, so I'm going to have to put it on something and get it to you guys. But you have to read it. I guess it could be next Sunday. One of the breakthrough ideas in physics that has enormous relevance to everyone's personal life is this. The idea is known as the participatory universe, which goes a long way to establish the role of human beings in the cosmos. Traditionally, the universe was non-participatory. We stared at it from the outside like children with their noses pressed to a bake shop window. Humans occupied an isolated space here on Earth, which somehow created the potential for advanced life. A participatory universe changes our status. Your body, mind, feelings, thoughts, sensations, in fact, the very existence of the three-dimensional world are intertwined with cosmic creation. This is a revolutionary concept for physics to arrive at. Today you're going to get a handout, and the handout is from the work of David Owen Ritz in the Affirmative Prayers for Abundance. It's the first 4 sections on the practice. They're affirmations. I invite us to use them. They're written in the I deserve true abundance and unconditional love. I invite us to make a shift from I is now we. I is now we. We deserve true abundance and unconditional love. We deserve vibrant health and good feelings. We deserve happiness, peace, and joy. We deserve prosperity, freedom, and ease in our affairs. From I to we. Namaste.